So we've got a big load of air basically coming up from Africa. So it's coming across Europe and bombarding us with these very, very high temperatures.
And we're hearing that this is unequivocally climate change. Is it that in your mind, or is it just a freak event?
I mean, we've always had heat waves here in the UK and in Europe. This one is particularly intense, and that's what's really worrying us and concerning us. These very, very high temperatures that we've never experienced before here in the UK, and we're just not used to them. And we know that heat waves are going to become longer, they're going to become more frequent, and they're going to become more intense, and so higher temperatures with climate change. So certainly this is a bit of a taste of things to come.
Give us a sense of what areas like London are like hitting 40 degrees. Having visited there in 30 degrees, it's quite intense heat. I can't imagine what 40 is.
Yeah, we certainly don't have the infrastructure. We don't have, the air conditioning or anything to survive in this kind of heat very comfortably at all. So you can probably see I'm looking very hot indeed, and we've got fans going, and we're doing our best to kind of live like Australians, but we don't have the experience. And we certainly don't have things like shade. We don't have shutters on our windows. And people are not used to kind of staying in the middle of the day and things like that.
Now, the government has issued its first ever red alert. What is that going to mean? Is the tube going to be running? What are people being advised to do?
Yeah, so the red warnings are really important because it means that people should be changing their behaviour in order to keep safe. And also, there are alerts out for the vulnerable and hospitals and things like that. Certainly, we've got train lines that are stopping running, so they're choosing to stop running before something bad happens. We have a step up in ambulance staff and hospital staff ready for a potential influx of people with heat-related illness. And certainly people are being advised to stay at home. So one of my sons is home from school and is homeschooling today because they just can't keep the temperature downs in the schools because they don't have the air conditioning or the right buildings for that.
Yeah. We're seeing, devastating bushfires wildfires across Europe, in France and Spain. Are these going to become yearly occurrences, or do you think it'll come in phases?
Yeah, they're very, very worrying, these fires, aren't they? They're absolutely devastating and very frightening, certainly for the people living there. It's an increasing problem. The pressures of urbanisation mean that you've got a lot of people not living in those rural areas anymore, which means you don't get the regular burning that you might have had in the past. So it's a combination of factors, meaning that the forest fire risk is, immense at the moment with these very high temperatures and not enough rain as well. And so I think we're going to see this worsening in the future too.
In the UK, are conversations being held about adjusting to this new normal?
Definitely, and we really urgently need to adjust to this because we had a heat wave last year. We will see heat waves in the future, and heat waves are a silent killer, particularly in a society that's not ready for this type of 40-degree heat, and we don't know how to live with it. We see enormous numbers of people dying, becoming very ill because of the heat. So rapid changes are needed to the way we're living and the way we're building.
Yeah, and I saw you talking about keeping your fish cool, which, we have to remember that there are a lot of animals that are not prepared for temperatures like this, that are not used to temperatures like this in the UK and across Europe.
Yeah, that's right. So we have, big homes where we keep the dogs, and they're really struggling to keep those dogs cool. And people are not used to keeping their dogs in during the day and their cats. And so there's a lot of advice at the moment, rapid advice, how to keep your pets cool, because we just don't have the experience of doing this kind of thing. And it affects all kinds of animals, and including my fish.
Well, let's hope you keep it cool and keep yourself cool. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Hannah.
Great, thanks.